Welcome to Sandlot and the Crew, where Sandlot Radio Show meets Wrecking Yard Baseball and Softball. I'm your host, Will Kiger, a.k.a. Wrecking Yard Will, and we are live from the Wrecking Yard here in Torrance, California, beautiful South Bay. I got to my right Mr. Angel Gonzalez, current player at El Camino College. Definitely going to be going D1 here very soon. We're excited to have him. He's also one of our coaches here. He does lessons. He helps out with the teams. Next to him, we have Mr. Taylor Felipe, former college player, Redondo legend. Not really, but
relax, dog.
Not on the diamond, but I don't know. Maybe on some other scene.
That was a really good bench warmer.
He was great. Anyway, we still love Taylor. He's a good coach here. He does lessons. He helps out. He runs the 13 or 14U. He helps out with the travel teams. Utility guy. Next to him, we've got an absolute animal from the first episode, just making wild statements, but we still love him. We got Jordan Chris, former player at Marymount, college player. He heads our 12 and 13U.
Correct.
And he also gives lessons here. So that's who you got here. And today we are going to start off this topic with none other than the big breaking news. Shohei Ohtani finally signs. He picks the team. 10-year deal with the Dodgers. $700 million. Absolutely blew everyone's mind. I don't think anyone saw that coming. So I'm going to go ahead and kick it off to a Dodgers fan. And how did you feel about this move, Mr. Taylor Felipe?
I was actually really happy that they got him. I wasn't expecting. I thought he was going to the Blue Jays. But I think $70 million a year is a little too much, even though he deferred most of his contract.
Too much.
Yeah, Crispy, how do you feel about this contract?
I don't feel like it's too much. The guy does two things. Like, Mookie Betts, he makes around, or his contract was like $350. And if you put that into just a player perspective, he's also a pitcher too. It's kind of crazy that he can do what he does on the mound and on the field. Hitting wise, so
right?
It's like he's two players, so you got to pay him for two players.
You're paying him for 1 year though. But I think it should have been like under 70. It's 68, 69 would be a good number.
Sure, it's the name though.
You just wanted to be 69.
This guy,
Angel, how do you feel about this move by the Dodgers?
I think it was all set up from a couple years ago. I mean, them losing Julio Urias and honestly not having to give him a number. Because honestly, they were going to have to give him a number.
Yeah.
He's an upcoming free agent. But I think the Dodgers were in the capability to give Shohei like 2-player contracts, two max player contracts.
There's only a few organizations that could really afford what Shohei was going to demand and be worth. And to put in perspective, LeBron James' career earnings in the NBA in a 20-year career is $460 million. So in one contract, Shohei just made more than LeBron's made in his 20-year NBA career. Mike Trout's contract was, I think, in the 400s. Mookie's was 360. So Shohei that's the biggest contract in sports history. It's absolute mammoth deal. I think when you look at the economics behind it, not just what he brings on the field as a hitter and a pitcher, but you look at the season ticket sales, just the ticket sales in general, the media, the advertisements.
You got to add in too that they're paying him to pitch and they're paying him to hit.
Right.
Those are two separate contracts right there.
100%. You got a top 10.
If you split it up, it's one's for pitching, the other one's to hit.
Absolutely. So I think the Dodgers looked at it from multiple angles, obviously as a hitter, as a pitcher, and then the overall economics he's going to bring with all that season ticket sales, jersey sales, advertisements. I mean, Dodger Stadium is going to be sold out every single game, I'm sure. It usually already is, but
Get ready for a $30 glizzy.
Oh, yeah, man. It's going to be wild in there, dude. So, but I think the Dodgers, honestly, they got that blank checkbook, and looking at the economics, they're going to make their money back on this. And Shohei, let's talk about this part. Shohei pulls one of the greatest team moves ever in sports history by deferring $68 million out of his $70 million per year. That's like 98% of his contract. He's like, just give me on the back end. We'll get that later. So that way the Dodgers can still bring in a lot of elite talent and try to build a World Series team. How do we feel about this?
It's a smart move, man. Like, it's the Bobby Bonilla move. Like, dude's still getting paid from the Mets, and he retired 15 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever the number is. But it's just kind of crazy how, one, he's one of those celebrities that realize like I don't need 15, 20 million a year to live.
Right.
You know, he's able to live off like anyone else regular would be $1 million a year, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like
$2 million a year. I mean, I would take it.
exactly. Yeah,
I
exactly.
think all of us would take it.
I've
I'd
survived on
retire. I'd
less.
be retired.
Yeah.
Shohei's a big team guy.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna stop you there. He walked out on his team. He
But
walked out
fuck
on his
the
team.
Angels, if we're gonna be honest.
He walked out on
Nobody
his
in
team.
LA cares
And
about
honestly,
the Angels.
I don't even think his contract was the deferred part was his opinion, his option. I feel like the Dodgers, when they presented him that, they kind of already had it set up. So they're like, okay, you're gonna get paid. This is the biggest contract ever, right? But this is how we're gonna do it, just so that we could bring in a couple more pieces.
it's possible, but from everything I've seen and read, everyone's saying that it was Shohei's idea.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it could be true, and the Dodgers could be just letting that narrative slide to, make Shohei even look even more of a hero and whatnot. But honestly, in my mind, I think it was Shohei's idea because
Smart move.
Shohei wants to win, dude. After being on the Angels for 6-7 years and getting the shit kicked out of you every year, he wants to win, and he wants to make sure that this massive contract isn't going to prohibit the Dodgers from winning. So I think it was actually his idea. Great. I mean, brilliant move. And not only that, he's, the 10 years after this contract he's going to be getting paid $68 million a year.
Exactly.
So it's really a great move for the team, for him. But let's talk about how this is going to affect the rest of Major League Baseball landscape. Now, there's definitely guys that were waiting to see, also teams waiting to see where Shohei was going to land before going after some of these other free agents, like the Japanese superstar pitcher who's currently the number 2 prospect on the free agency, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, which is such a dope baseball name. I love that name.
He's going to the Giants.
Where do
No
we
doubt
think
about it.
he's
He's
going?
not going to
He's
the
going to
Giants.
the Giants. There's no doubt
Dodgers are
about
going
it.
to sign him because he wants to be with Shohei.
No, the Giants are going to make a ridiculous offer, and then we're going to bring him in, and then he's going to be like, no, I'm good. That's how it's
Or we're going to find another
Yeah.
hip injury like Carlos Correa.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about Arson Judge?
Arson Judge.
That's brutal, Jordan.
Brutal, dude.
I've heard
Constantine's.
rumors that, I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard rumors that Shohei doesn't want to share the spotlight with another Japanese player. To me, that doesn't make sense, because you'd think he'd want somebody from his home country who speaks his language, and it would give him some comfort. But Angel, your Yankees are right in the contention. In my opinion, I think he's going to end up on the Yankees or the Mets. So what are your thoughts? Do you think the Yankees have a shot at this guy? Would you like to see him as a Yankee?
I'm not too aware of how his playing is or how he is, but yeah, I think he's going to go to a big market team just because of the attention that he brings. And going back to the Shohei thing, I don't believe that he wouldn't want to share the spotlight, but I'm gonna have to say the Mets are going to go after this guy.
Yeah, I could see the Mets going after him.
Yankees might be in there, but I feel like their attractions are more somewhere here that's already established. I don't think they want to take a chance on someone that really doesn't have a track record.
Hasn't established himself yet. I mean, he's put up phenomenal numbers in Japan. Obviously, it's a transition to coming over here. But one advantage he does have is that, there's not a whole lot of tape. Guys haven't faced him over here yet. So a lot of times when you're a new arm, it takes guys, a couple games against you before they kind of start figuring you out. So a lot of times these pitchers come over here and they have a really hot start, and then it kind of dies down a little bit. And then they got to figure out, okay, what do I got to do to adjust? What do you think about Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Taylor?
That fool should come to the Dodgers. He wants to be with Shohei. I don't see why else
That's why he
wouldn't.
deferred it right there.
Exactly.
There's the Yamamoto money right there.
It's there.
Or Blake Snell.
It's
I don't
there.
mind Blake Snell over here either.
If y'all get Blake Snell, bro, I'm going to have it's
Dude, I saw a
It's too
stupid
much.
stat where Mookie Betts and Shohei's contract is worth the entire amount of what the Marlins are worth. It's like Shohei and Mookie's contract together is like 1.1 billion.
yeah.
Mookie?
Yeah, whatever.
Mookie the Cookie?
And the franchise of the Marlins is worth 1 billion.
Yeah, I saw that Shohei's contract is the Royals owner is only worth $700 million,
Dude.
and Shohei just made that in one contract.
Dude, stupid. Whatever.
So yeah, we got him. You got Josh Hader. I'd be interested. I'm really interested to see where he ends up.
I think teams are going to start moving fast.
Absolutely. I think you're going to see a lot of moves made here in the upcoming days, week. Where do you guys see Josh Hader going? Where he fits? Don't say the Dodgers.
Not the Dodgers.
Thank God.
They were supposed
I'm
to
gonna
get him
go
like 2 years
Arizona.
ago.
I'm gonna go Arizona. Arizona needs to make a move because they need to show that they're the best team in the West.
They just brought in a good arm, but man, bringing in Josh Hader, that was a starting pitcher they brought in. I forgot his name, but he got a 4-year, $80 million deal.
It was from Detroit.
Yeah. So Josh Hader, I mean, that's a lockdown closer, lefty, elite arm. I could see him fitting on the Orioles. I could see him going there. I don't think
the Orioles will spend the money.
He's gonna go to a contender.
Yeah, I think he wants to win.
I mean, the Orioles are a contender.
Yeah, exactly.
What about
But I see him staying on the West Coast.
You think so?
Yeah,
What about
the West Coast? The West Coast teams are going to need to start making moves.
What about the Rangers? Do you think Josh Hader could end up on the
Actually,
Rangers?
yes, because Will Smith just got signed to
And they lost
the Royals.
Royals.
The Royals.
They lost Montgomery. Well, Montgomery's a free agent.
Yeah.
We'll see if they bring him back, but that's a lefty arm. They're going to lose. Hader's obviously not a starter. What about the former Los Angeles Dodger who had probably the comeback of the year of anybody? He went from hitting, I think it was 210 to hitting 309. Mr. Cody Bellinger. Apparently his fiance posted a picture in Toronto just like yesterday or 2 days ago. Do you think he ends up a Blue Jay? Does he stay a Cub? Where does Cody Bellinger land?
I know Toronto's gonna give him a good pitch.
Yeah.
Just because that whole plane trip with Shohei kind of messed up their day.
Yeah, they need to lock somebody down. What do you guys think about Belly, Taylor?
I'm cool with him not coming to the Dodgers once
I don't
again.
know.
Not
kinda cool with that, though.
If I was a Dodger fan, I want Belly back.
Of course I want him back.
I want him back.
Of course I want him back, but
He's
at the
not
same
coming
time,
back.
He returned to his top 10 player self, right? I mean,
But it took getting out of LA and getting out of that environment for him to make that. I do not
but
see
was
it. It's
it
a
really,
bad idea. It's
was
a bad
it really
idea.
the environment though?
Absolutely.
He's a,
For sure.
he's a
100%.
professional athlete.
Doesn't matter.
You're telling me the
1000%
Cubs isn't as much pressure as the Dodgers?
because it's not a big city.
Well, it's not necessarily. It's not.
Chicago is a big city.
Okay, I mean like
on.
LA and New York are the
Here's your
the what?
typical
The
Dodger
two-
fan. Here's your typical Dodger fan.
Here we go.
He's wearing it right here. Houston cheated. Houston cheated. Houston beat
You're a
you.
Yankees fan
Houston
guy.
beat you, and Houston beat us.
Oh my god.
Every team is. I don't even want to get into it.
All
Next
right.
topic.
All right. One at a time. One at a time, guys. We're getting a lot of crosstalk here. So, Belly, honestly, in my opinion, I think he'd be wise to stay in Chicago. I think he had a great year. He obviously fits there. Chicago's a great organization, historic place to play baseball. It's still a big market team. I could see him going to the Blue Jays. He's definitely not coming back to the Dodgers. I think that change of scenery, new organization was really good for him. But I would like to see him stay on the Cubs. Crispy, what do you think? Where should Belly go?
He should come back to the Bay and be in a Giants uniform.
I like that.
See, that's what he should do to get some revenge on them Dodgers. For
That'd
not
be
giving him
interesting.
that paycheck.
Yeah.
But that's not happening. He should stay where he's at. You know, like he has great numbers. There's no reason for him to switch it up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. You guys see Joe Kelly just re-signed with the Dodgers.
And he's number 99.
Joe Kelly, baby. I love
He's
that
rocking
guy.
99.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throwing cheese balls right at your dome.
That
Hey,
dude.
I don't
is
know.
a
I don't know if he
different
could
animal.
top Manny though.
Machado. No, not Machado. Ramirez.
This guy doesn't even know his Dodgers.
Manny Wood, dog.
Manny Machado. God.
Manny Wood.
Dude, Manny Ramirez has not
But
been
yeah,
able to talk.
good move for the Dodgers. Joe Kelly being
Yeah, I like
being
that.
a Los Angeles
Guy's a
resident.
dog, dude. He's an animal when he's on the mound. He will tell you a fastball's coming right down the dick.
I love that.
You know?
I love the psycho mentality he brings to the mound.
Is it
dude.
like that
Just-
full on Wake Forest that was like on? What was he? He had pre-workout or something. He's all itchy and twitching everywhere at Wake
Oh,
Forest.
in that interview or whatever?
No, in the College World Series.
Oh my God! Yeah, I thought that dude was on freaking cocaine, man. He was. I was like, he's like over there chewing up. I'm like,
Different breed.
holy
I would freak out if I was in the box looking at a guy like,
I'd be like, I want a drug test right now.
time out.
Yeah.
We need a
Psycho
drug
pictures.
test.
T drug test. All right, I think we're gonna wrap this segment right here. Coming up, we're gonna be talking about Mookie becoming the everyday second baseman for the Dodgers. We're gonna touch on Juan Soto going to the Yankees, and then we're gonna have some more interesting topics coming up after that. Might dip into the travel baseball realm as we have multiple travel baseball coaches here. So you're listening to Sandlot and the Crew, where Sandlot Radio Show meets Wrecking Yard Baseball and Softball. I'm your host, Will Kiger. We got Mr. Angel Gonzalez, Taylor Felipe, and Jordan Crisp. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one.